Hey guys, and welcome to episode 19 of Surg's single-player survival series, Season 1. I'm out here looking at my wood, and I'm still not using anywhere near as much as I'm producing. So I changed up the configuration here. Let me see if I can get back in here. I changed up the configuration here in my planter. Of course, right after I removed the sound muffler. And I told it rubber saplings in the black spot, which is going to be in this little square here. Or it might only be, a couple, maybe 4 or 5. But it doesn't have a way to replenish those saplings. And I have the barrels here, and if you remember right here, I have the transfer nodes. But, it's not the greatest either, because when I need wood, I have to come out here and grab it. And it's transferring it into my steam oven just fine. But I already have a system in my house that's set up to take care of everything. And that's my logistics pipes. So why don't we go ahead and set up logistics pipes for the items out here, so that way I can request them inside if I want. The other thing is this storage is almost filled up. So I have an idea to solve both issues, but it's going to take a lot of resources. So let's go ahead and run inside, and my ender lilies are doing pretty good. And let's look at what I had in mind. So the first thing I want to take care of is the storage. And for the storage, I want to use Mine Factory Reloaded. I'm already using Mine Factory Reloaded for the harvester and the planter, so why not use it for storage? Now, Mine Factory Reloaded adds a block that's sort of like a barrel, except it holds a lot more. Now, it'll only hold one item, but that's what we're storing outside, is just one item in each barrel anyway. Now, the block that I'm thinking of is the deep storage unit. Now, here's where it gets resource intensive. So, we need a couple of reinforced strongboxes. We also need a filled tesseract frame. Now, we have everything that we need in order to do that, except for one machine. So let's go ahead and get started with that machine first. And we're going to need thermal expansion for this. So let's go ahead and look up. There we go, thermal expansion. And the machine we're going to need, let's see if I can, is right there, the induction smelter. So it's not too bad. We're going to need a little bit of Inbar, some copper gears, redstone reception coil, machine frame, and a bucket. So the Inbar is the only tricky part. And that's not even that bad. Invar is made, well, let me just go back here. We can make Invar blend and smelt that into Invar ingots. Now, Invar blend is iron and ferrous metal. Now, because of the fact that the ferrous metal, and I do have a good amount of it here, because of the fact that ferrous metal doesn't work in the macerator, I figure I might as well do the iron the same way. And what I'm going to need, actually I'll probably just look it up in my system here, is I should have a grindstone from Applied Energistics. And that's how I got the Invar dust in the first place. So let's go ahead and request that, and we should have a crank. Just one. And I'll go ahead and put this down right here, and throw our ferrous and our iron right in there, and throw the crank on top. I know night's coming, that's why I keep looking. So all we need to do is go ahead and grind this down into dust. So there's one of our iron, there's both iron, and then Ferrous shouldn't be... There we go. That should be all of it. And we can go ahead and mix this together, just like that, and we get 3 Inbar. So let's go ahead and throw this right here in our electric furnace. That'll go ahead and cook up, and it'll throw it right into our system. Now, the other things that we're going to need is some copper gears, so we might as well get 2 stone gears. So let's go ahead and look up stone gears. We can request 2 of them, and it already knows how to make them, which is really nice. And let's grab a little bit of copper. And we're going to need 8 copper. And looks like we already got that. Now, one thing that was suggested, and I'm thinking how I want to do this, was if I take my request logistics pipe, I should be able to connect it to a chest. You know what, let's go ahead and just, we don't need this anymore. So let's go ahead and throw our grindstone and our crank back in our system, and let's move this crafting table. And we'll just set it right here. And I want to remove this pipe, and let me just grab 1 more stone transport pipe and 1 chest. And I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and go just like this here. Stone transport pipe, request logistics pipe. I don't want it connecting there. And then I'll do the chest right here. And then we can just go ahead and add the facades back on. We add the one to the back. So now we still have this here, but if we request something, like, say, a couple pieces of redstone, it should go right into this chest. And then we can just open up the chest and grab what we need out. So that way it's not spilling all over the place. So let's go ahead and make our copper gears. And there's the 2 copper gears that we need. We're going to need 1 piece of gold, and that's why I grabbed some redstone. 2 pieces of gold, 3 iron, some glass, and a bucket. So let's grab some iron. We're going to need 4 of those. We're going to need 2 gold. And I might as well grab the Invar. And for this case, I'm going to grab 3 tin. And we also need glass. And I believe it's only 4 pieces of glass. Why is it not night yet? Let me check on something here real quick. Oh, I was in my test world, and my test world is set to always be noon. Okay. So let's go ahead and just turn that off. I thought that's what was going on. So now everything should be in here. And we can go ahead and make our redstone reception coil. And our machine frame. And then lastly, the reason that I grabbed tin is because I have a lot more tin than I have of iron. And it's easier to make buckets out of tin. And induction smelter. So now what I can do, so I have the pulverizer set up here. You know what? I can just set it up right here. And I'm going to need some more conduit. There's got to be a cave system or something right below my house. So let's see if I have any conduit. 3 will work. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that away. So I'm going to put my induction smelter right here, and I'm going to set it up so that it doesn't have any inputs, but it'll go ahead and output whatever I make right into the chest. So that way that chest serves a dual purpose. And then down here I can just go ahead and connect it right up. Just like... Well, let's go ahead and just remove this here. Saves me making a little bit more leadstone energy conduit. And then I'll just throw this away. So now that we have the induction smelter, and I think I need some more charcoal. I might have to grab some from outside. Let me just check my dynamo down here. I bet you that's what it ran out of. Yeah. So let's go grab some charcoal from outside. And this is one of the reasons that I want to hook up everything to my system, is because if I want charcoal, I have to run out here and grab it from here. One other thing is I actually should not need this right here. If we pull out the charcoal, the steam oven should automatically put just a couple. It's not going to put a full stack, there it goes, but it's going to put a couple of them in there, so I don't need this item duct, because it'll still keep it nice and stocked. And this should give us plenty of charcoal now. So let's go downstairs, and I wonder if I have a hopper. No. Well, that's easy enough to make. We'll request one chest and 5 iron. And just to make this easier, especially since I have so much charcoal right now, I'm going to go ahead and hook this right up to the dynamo, because I'm going to be using it for a little while. So I want to make sure that it doesn't run out. And I'll go ahead and just fill that up. There we go. So that should stay nice and stocked for a good while. Now, when this completely fills up with power, the power output and the fuel usage will slow down. It won't stop completely, but it'll slow down to a good crawl, so I don't run out of charcoal very fast. And we'll just throw all of this back in our system. Chances are it'll just end up in the default route here. Yeah, there it goes. So now that we have our induction smelter, and it's getting nice and powered up, say we wanted to make a little bit more Invar, which we're going to need. So we can go ahead and request, let's say, 6 iron, and I should have some more ferrous. So let's say 3 ferrous. And if we want to make Invar now, we don't need to pulverize this stuff down. All we need to do is come right over to our induction smelter and throw it right in. It will go ahead and take the bars and convert it directly to ferrous, or Invar. So now we have that. And I'm going to need, what was it? Hardened? No, it was reinforced strong boxes. So I'm going to need to make some hardened strong boxes, which is why I made the Invar. So I need chest surrounded by tin, and I'm going to need 4 of them. So let's go ahead and request 4 chests, and we're going to need 16 tin. I think I have a good amount of tin. Maybe tin is not one of the materials that I have a lot of. Lead, silver, gold. Ooh. Well, I have just about as much tin as I do iron right now. So maybe a quarry is something that we should get sooner rather than later. Maybe we'll do that next episode. So I have 4 strong boxes, and I'm going to need 16 Inbar. How much did I make? 9. So I'm going to need 7 more. So let's just request 6 more iron, and we'll get 3 more ferrous. And go ahead and get that cooking up too. Now the other thing that I'm going to need is hardened glass. And the way that we make hardened glass is I need obsidian. And let's just go ahead and grab 32. So 32 obsidian, and I'm going to need some lead. And let's just grab, say, 16 lead. It'll probably make more than what we need, but we'll find uses for it later. So I need to pulverize the obsidian down, and that'll make obsidian dust, or pulverized obsidian. So while that's cooking, and I'm going to throw my lead in my induction smelter. This is another reason I needed the induction smelter. So let's go ahead and make these into the the hardened strong boxes. So there's 1 more, and 4. And let's check on that pulverized obsidian. That should be good enough for right now. Now if you take pulverized obsidian and add lead in the induction smelter, it will make hardened glass. Now we're going to need a little bit of this. And what we can do with the hardened glass, while it makes more, is go ahead and take our hardened strong boxes and add hardened glass, and we get reinforced strong boxes. Now what these strong boxes are by themselves is they're just like a chest. So there's a reinforced one, we're going to throw down a hardened one. Unfortunately I don't have one of the regular strong boxes, because I already converted them. But what they are is they're just like a chest. Now the regular strong box is the exact same as this, it just only has 2 rows. And what you can do is you can set security levels on them. So let's say I was playing on a server, and I wanted to be the only one that could access the items in here. I can change that. Or I can set it in restricted mode, which allows me and anybody that I set up in as a friend. The reinforced strongbox is just that much bigger. Basically, each tier gives you 2 more rows. Now, the nice thing about the strongboxes, besides them being restrictive, is let's say I threw some items in here, and they're right there. And if I pick it up by shift clicking with my crescent hammer, you can see, if I hold shift, there's 2 Invar and 2 hardened strongboxes in there. So if I just came and say I was doing some mining, set it down, my items are still in there. So it's a nice way to maybe transport items. And what are we out of? Looks like pulverized obsidian. Now it does take 8 pulverized obsidian and 1 piece of lead to make 2 hardened glass. So I am going to have to put a whole bunch of this pulverized obsidian in here. I'll just give it just a second. 1 more, and I should be able to put this last little bit in. There we go. And we don't need you. So let's pick you up and go ahead and convert the other ones. And reinforced, reinforced, and reinforced. So we have those taken care of. That was the easy part. Now, if we look up that deep storage unit again, so we go back to, where's Mine Factory Reloaded? We have the reinforced strong boxes that we need. Plastic sheets aren't hard. I think I already have some. I don't, but it's just raw plastic, which we can go ahead and make. Let's just request some rubber. And we're say, oh, we really only need 4. So let's go ahead and request 4. Oh, nighttime again. Now what we can do is just take our rubber, go ahead and smelt it up, and it'll give us that raw plastic. So that'll take care of that part. So we have everything except for the tesseract frame. This is the complicated part. So to make a tesseract frame, we're going to need some more hardened glass, which I had cooking up, a diamond, not too bad, but we also need enderium. And enderium we have to make in the induction smelter with enderium blend and pyrotheum dust. Now the pyrotheum dust isn't too hard. It's just some blaze powder, sulfur, redstone, and coal or macerated coal or pulverized coal, just any kind of coal dust, which I might even have. No, doesn't look like I do. So let's grab, I don't know, say 3 pieces of coal, and we're going to need some redstone. Now I don't know if I have any blaze. I have 1. And I might have a second one. If my chest is set up, yeah, I do. So I have a second one there. So we might need to get some more of that. And what else did we need for the pyrotheum? I'll just look it up this way. So I need sulfur. And I know I have plenty of that. I have I think a whole bunch. And let's go ahead and use this sulfur. So we'll go ahead and grab all of this stuff, and I don't know how much pyrotheum it's really gonna make me, but we'll find out here. And we just need to, let's go ahead and macerate it, or pulverize it. We just need to pulverize this coal down. Yeah, see, that's plenty of hardened glass. And one more. Oh, that should be plenty of pyrotheum. At least for right now. Now for the tricky part, the enderium. So, enderium blend. So we're going to need some pulverized tin, some pulverized shiny metal. Now I don't think I have any shiny. And shiny is basically, it's a couple different things that you can, that basically shiny metal's called. Shiny metal or platinum or, well here, I'll just look it up. Let's see. Shiny metal, there's platinum, and I think there's another thing that RotaryCraft calls it. Let's see. So platinum ingot is the same thing. Easiest way is to go. It doesn't show me. Is to go to the ore dictionary, but it doesn't look like it's going to pull up the ore dictionary. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any shiny metal. I wonder if I have a whole bunch of ferrous. Yeah, ferrous might get us some. Let me just look up shiny here real quick. So, pulverized shiny metal. We get... yeah, we do get it from ferrous. So hopefully we get lucky and get one. So I'm going to let this run through, and I'll be back when we hopefully get a shiny metal. Never mind. So we're going to need probably 2 of those. We're also going to need some tin. So I'm going to need at least 3 tin. Let's go ahead and pulverize that up as well. We'll just throw that right in here. And I'm going to need a bucket of resonant ender, which means I'm going to have to melt up some ender pearls. And I should have a bucket. So just like we were using the magma crucible and fluid transposer for redstone and glowstone, we can also use it for ender pearls. And it takes 4 ender pearls to make 1 bucket. But what we should be able... oh, perfect. I'm going to let it go through the tin first, because I need that. One more. And what we can do is go ahead and do 3 tin, 1 shiny, and a resonant ender. And we get our enderium. Go over here, throw our enderium and our pyrotheum. Now it'll only use 1 pyrotheum and 2 enderium, and it'll get us our enderium ingots. So 1, we're going to need 1 more. And some hardened glass. Perfect. That's everything that we need. 4 hardened glass and 1 diamond. Now I'm also going to need the other ender pearls, because I'm going to need 1 more bucket of molten ender. To fill this. So diamond, enderium, get our tesseract frame that's empty. And we will start playing with tesseracts in the future. Just I need a little bit more in the way of resources before we can actually do that. So I'm going to give this a second and let it fill up here. Okay, so there we go. So last thing we need is those plastic sheets. So we should be able to grab this raw plastic, and I'm going to grab 4 of them. And go just like this, get our plastic sheets. And just like this, we have our 4 deep storage units. So what we should be able to do is come right out here and set them up. And so I'm going to go ahead and remove this barrel, which is going to make a big mess. I'm going to put a deep storage unit right here. And then what I can do is just throw wood right into the deep storage unit. And it's going to take just a second. So there we go. So our deep storage unit is now storing all of the wood that used to be in this barrel. And it's still able to suck it out through the transfer node. And if we throw wood in here, it will automatically get stored in our deep storage unit. There it goes. So it works just like the barrel, only this will hold, I think it's 20 million. It'll hold a lot more than any number of barrels that we want to use. So now we want to hook this up to our logistics system. Let me go ahead and change out this barrel too, and then we'll get started working on that. Okay guys, unfortunately it looks like we are at that wrapping up point for this episode. It took a little bit longer to make these deep storage units than I thought it would. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change out some of these to be deep storage units, since we only have 3 of them. And I don't think I'm going to use one for rubber or the rubber wood, because those are kind of one of those that I'm going to stop at a certain point when we have, basically when we have a barrel full. The rubber wood saplings, probably the same. We're probably not going to be keeping too many, so it might only be these 3. I'll go ahead and do that between this episode and next. I hope you guys enjoyed, and with that, I will see you guys later.